Hey there, welcome back to Angry Bird. Today I'm going to talk about um, Cory Booker a little bit and what it means, what it means to be willing to die for something, what it means to do that. Okay, so when you got Cory Booker out there and he does this marathon in front of my eyes, when I'm out there, I'll just rewind the clock a little bit. Let me tell you about yesterday. Yesterday, I go out there. I got a long day of work. I bust up my hand. I don't even know, 20 minutes into my day, doing something, and I'm jamming my hands through some metal objects, and something was super sharp and just ripped it. And at any rate, I'm out there working, and I keep hearing this story a little bit here, little bits and pieces. I'm not glued to a TV or radio. I'm in people's houses, so I only get little bits and clips as I drive from one place to the next. And I keep hearing about this Cory Booker, he's doing this thing. Now, I've never gravitated to Cory. Never. Cory preaches a lot, and I don't like that when you're a politician. I don't like people bringing up religion and God and faith and praying and anything like that. When you're a politician and you're representing me, that is a separation I want to see when you're in front of me, man. I don't want to see you bring your faith into it. But so before today, I wasn't exactly a Cory fan. I knew he fought for me. His policy is aligned with my policies. I always knew that. What I didn't know about Cory is I didn't know Cory. And you know what? When a guy talks for 25 hours, you learn a lot about a person. One, you learn how smart they are. Now, see, I always knew Cory was smart. But people do shit for clicks, right? They say things for an audience. They don't say things to be genuine. And when I listen to Cory, all I can think of is how genuine that felt. He started talking about John Lewis. How does that not hit you in the heart? How do you not hear John Lewis's story or know John Lewis's story and hear his ties to John Lewis and hear how the speech and the record he was breaking was a speech and record that was used against the policy that set him free? Okay. The one he got benefit from. He's out there talking because we're all about to lose stuff. And all I could think this whole time is this guy's my fucking hero, man. This guy, I wish I could see him and people like him and hear people like that speak nonstop. When you got people like Marjorie Taylor Greens and Lone Boberts and Matt Gaetz, and in my state of Ohio, you got Jim Jordan. Where are you, Jim Jordan? Apparently nobody can find you. Sorry to bring that up, but Jim Jordan's hiding, guys. He's hiding from his constituents. Apparently we're pissed off, and he doesn't want to answer nobody. But in our state, we got the loudmouths and the goofballs. And so when I see some from New Jersey, I don't really tie myself to a guy from New Jersey. And when I hear something that sets me off, I kind of look the other way. And again, I always know he aligns with me, but I don't follow a guy like that because some turnoff is going to be immediate, and I'm just not going to go back to it. And then this guy comes in like a wrecking ball yesterday, and he changes my whole worldview on him. He changes my whole opinion about where he's been, what he's done. All I needed to do was hear his story. There's a part of me that knew that if I knew everybody's story, I would appreciate who they were. And maybe be able to talk to them about other angles to look at and things. But Cory just laid it out. For hour upon hour upon hour upon hour upon hour to make that statement known. It's not about right or left. It's about right versus wrong. right versus wrong. What future do you want? What future do we want? I could tell you what future we're getting. Short term. We're all facing it. We are all facing this shit short term. There's people out there chest thumping, thinking tariffs are going to work. Jobs are coming back. Things are going to get somehow cheaper. The guy literally said he gives two fucks, man, whether prices go down or not. He ran on lowering prices. He ran on all these things, and then he gets in office. He's doing totally different shit now. There's people out there that don't know no better. You know, they don't see it. They're just listening to Fox every day, and their views just kind of align with whatever the narrative kind of changes to. You know, it's a damn shame, but we get to watch them every day. Now they're, you know, it used to be billionaires out of office. Now let's defend Elon. You know, I mean, it's out of fucking their mind shit, right? So the future you want, you have to be willing to die for it. I'm not saying go run out and be stupid. I'm not saying go just end yourself because, you know, you want to die for a cause. There's no point in being a martyr or something stupid, man. The point is you can never give up. And you have to put your body in harm's way. You cannot be the type of person like they are and get it back. What they are, bone spurs and otherwise, is they are the type of people that will convince somebody they don't care about to go do the harm for them. ICE to do the harm for Trump, right? Or you know, the most craziest ideologies. We'll get a government and we'll go do our shit through them, through that power of the government to go do it, right? So I'm not saying it, you know, to go out there and do something crazy. What I'm saying is you can't stop. You have to show up to protests. You have to make good trouble. You have to take one on the chin once in a while. We take losses when we fight. And I'm not saying to go out there and be violent either. I'm saying you have to put your body in harm's way for the future you want. You have to be willing to put your body in front of it. And if you're not, and they are, and you're not, they're more committed and you're not, they're going to win. So there's a part of me that believes there's Americans out there. And they believe they're going to be saved by somebody else. Right? There's people in my age group that have made it now. We're you know, if you're in my bracket and you haven't fallen yet, you're probably in pretty good shape because you come from an era that sets you up a little better. The era before was better than that, but we're okay. It's the stuff after us it's kind of shitty. Truly. Ours is sort of okay. It's not great. It's sort of okay. But the ones after us is shitty. So the guys in my group, you know, the people in my walks of life, the ones that I know, grew up with in childhood and shit, they don't act like I act. They're not behaving the way I'm behaving. They don't talk the way I talk. They are, I feel like they're Germans, 1933 Germans kind of watching, you know. My old classmates are just kind of like, it ain't gonna happen. Nah, we'll figure it out. There's always gonna be somebody. The government will step in. They can't do this. And all throughout history, the only way anything's ever changed is through the people. It's through the people. We demanded better. Okay, so when we sit here and tout that you know, or we think that something's going to change and we are not willing to go out there and make it happen, it's not going to fucking change. It won't. They're more committed right now. They're committed to ignoring the laws. They're committed to making up propaganda as we go. They're committed to making up reality now. They're committed to lying about people to send them off to fucking El Salvador. And they're committed to ignoring the judge to make sure that if somebody came back and it came out to light that it wasn't the right person, it would never come to light. They got people out there convinced that due process is only earned if you're not a criminal, and can't think of the fact that, well, how would you know without due process? If you're just allowing someone else to decide, what is there? There isn't due process. It's just a king, a dictator saying who's a criminal, who's not. My future doesn't look like that. My future isn't a future where one guy or a team of fucking people, whatever, can turn around and take a constitution that someone else died for me and handed it off to me, say, here you go. And then I'm going to turn around and have it and go, it's okay. I mean, I'm going to look around. Yeah, everybody will save it. I don't need to do nothing. I can't live in that fantasy. There's people out there living in that fantasy. They are. They believe like, it'll be saved. And part of me knows it. Part of me knows it. Knows that Americans, overall, when our backs are against the wall, we are not giving up our freedom. It might take a while. It might take a long while. But we're not giving up our freedom. And nobody's changing that. No billionaire, no dictator, no propaganda network, no nothing's going to change that. See, even MAGA ain't giving up that. They might toot when they don't understand. But when they understand, they're not going to toot. They're going to fight. And I think that's why MAGA, Trump, Elon, and them keep the propaganda going, man. They don't have a choice. I swear, if they lift their foot off that gas and the eyes open, even for a moment, man, they're going to lose that whole crowd at once. And that whole crowd ain't the crowd that's going to sit and take it either. You see, conservatives, Heritage Foundation, these people, they don't fear the left. That's why they're where they're at. That's why they keep out there intimidating, attacking. They don't think the left will fight back. But boy, they know the right. They know their own base and their own voters. And they know their own voters will fucking grab a gun and go down to the fucking Capitol tomorrow and go take it. So the base they had to convince is the base most likely to take up arms. That's who they propagandized. So that's who they fear the most, and that's why they keep the charade going. I mean, you literally got people bootlicking for billionaires, when a year ago they were crazy against billionaires. You got people anti-protesting at Tesla dealerships, when a year ago they were fucking so against electric cars. You couldn't talk electric cars without them going, you're crazy for, they're losing their minds on it. And now they're out there protesting for electric cars. You don't flip in a year like that unless you're just being led. I see that they're being led. People in MAGA who are finding out realize, holy shit, we've been lied to, we're being led. They fear MAGA the most, man. Republicans fear MAGA the most. That's why they go to town halls and talk like they're on X. Because if they talk like they're on X still, the base that don't know no better will never figure it out. If they go to town halls and they start talking like they're supposed to, the people that are on X and in the propaganda bubble are going to start finding out faster. They can't let their foot off the gas. If you want a future and you're not willing to put your body into it, then what future do you expect? Who the hell you expect to do your fighting for you? Look, everybody's had somebody bigger in their life they might have been afraid of, a bully or otherwise. Even right now, you might be afraid. You might be afraid to put your face like I ain't out there for other people to see. I'm who I am. Find me. If you got a problem with me, talk to me. If you don't, well, then I guess we do whatever we got to do. But the point is there's people out there hiding their faces because they're afraid. Big government, man. They know who I am, probably. They probably know who everybody is. We all pretend like if we don't put our name out, they won't know who we are. Point is all we have is each other. And that's all we ever had. Since ever since. And the moment they put us apart from one another is the moment they start controlling us. Really. The moment they found that division. That's when they found our flaws. Our fears. So, the cross I'm willing to die on, guys, is for freedom and liberty. I would absolutely go out there and put my body in harm's way for someone else that is also living around me, in my neighborhood, in my country, that wants a future like me too. One that isn't an indoctrination of the billionaires are the best and we should all worship them. An indoctrination of there's only one church and that's it, and females are this or that. I can't go along with shit that's so fucking barbaric and Neanderthal by nature. That the only way for me, a guy like me, to go along with it is to undereducate myself, to uneducate myself, to unlearn shit I've already learned. How can I do that? How do you unlearn shit? It's one thing if you learn something that's wrong, you can unlearn it by learning new shit. But when you learn things and they're right, how do you unlearn it? You can't. You already know better. So, the guys like me in my age group that are sitting there watching, doing nothing. You are 1933 Germans. You fucking are. The MAGA base that's out there at Tesla dealerships saying, hey, billionaires are cool now. You absolutely are the fucking guys following the propaganda. You literally will go with whatever the channel tells you tomorrow. The people finding out, MAGA base that's finding out, you got to quit chest thumping. You got to quit acting like Trump's a god, because the moment you start talking regular, folks like us welcome you back in. No fucking problem. But you guys walk in always chest thumping, expecting respect, man. You're never going to get respect unless you fucking own your shit. You guys can't own your shit. It's always faith driven. Well, I believe this and you believe that. You believe mainstream media and I believe the truthers. It's just a fucking facade at this point. You never prove anything you say. You always just say it. You just echo the shit off Fox, So there's people out there right now. They have family members. They would put their fucking body in front of harm for a family member. There's people out there that have a significant other that they cannot live without. And they will put their body in front of them in harm's way to protect a child, to protect their spouse, to protect something. I've seen people protect their damn pets. In the right situation, people protect. They put their body in harm's way to protect something they love. And all the way down to the cowardice person. When your back's against the wall, you fucking become a lion to try to survive. So, at some point, if you're conscious, before you get to the point where your back's against the wall, before you get to the point where you're at gunpoint and there's a boot to your face, you can make a conscious decision to go ahead and put yourself in harm's way ahead of time and try to prevent it. All I'm saying is if you're not willing to risk it all, then whatever you think you're going to achieve, you're not. Because they're at the point right now where they're ready to risk it all. They are wiping their ass with this Constitution. They are wiping their ass with the rule book, law book, and normals. They are wiping their ass with what is reality. They are wiping their ass with America. They could care less if the common person in America has food, has a job, has anything. They could give two fucks. These people want the country's military, they want the technology, and they want the power over the fucking taxpayers here. And the moment they get it all, we're fucked. And if we stop them before, we got a better chance. But if you're not willing to put yourself in harm's way, they already have it. There is no coming back. They already have it. Literally. There's no point. Harm's way is where it's at. You cannot watch anymore. You cannot be idle. You're picking a side. And your side is you're with them and you're silent, or you're on the streets in harm's way. I don't know about you guys, but when I have to take shit, if I'm facing a fucking bully, if I'm facing something, I'm going to face it standing. I'm going to face it locked in elbows with people that care too. And if I don't make it out, you know what? I was locked in elbows with people that cared. And I put myself in harm's way for someone else because I cared enough to. And I'm okay with that. At some point in your life, you're going to have to be okay with that, I think. And the quicker, the better. The faster we react now, the more we save, the faster we get everything back. The longer it takes for us to react, the more stuff they grab, the more levers they control outright, the worse it gets. If you're me, 4/5/2025, DC. We got to get 1 million, guys. We have to get 1 million. We have to get 2. I mean, shit, we might have to get 3. You know, we cannot have enough people in DC. We can't on the 5th. We can't. There can't be enough of us. You can't bring enough people. And when we go with the right reasons. We go to put ourselves in harm's way. Not to go make trouble, storm the Capitol, be idiots, and round it up like a bunch of lunatics. But to go put ourselves in harm's way. Because we're going to encourage everyone else to do it. And after we get everyone else to fucking do it, they're not going to have nothing, guys. They are only there because we allow it. The moment we don't allow it, it's over. End of story for them. We just have to not allow it, and we have to be willing to put our bodies in harm's way. And the moment we all agree to that, it's over for them. 100. There's no coming back. The moment we take it again, the levers, the power, we build it for the people. And we take out every tax, everything that monopolizes, enriches, and corrupts fucking people out of our system. And we're never going to get it perfect. But as long as we're fighting to make it perfect, we'll get there. Anyway, love y'all. Put yourself in body's harm. Put your body in harm's way. Stick up for someone else, man. Stick up for somebody else for once. Don't look at the easy stuff. The 4 walls of your house. Look at your neighborhood. Look at your state. Look at your country. It's fucking in dire straits right now. All right. Love y'all. Bye.